that trouble code, and we're not getting to much more expensive repair after the fact. So, and what happens too is, to keep a note, a lot of people that sit in front of the GPS and the mapping and the driver behavior system, completely different people that are sitting in front of the application for maintenance and managing that fleet. So you have to be able to share those data between the two, because they're not always going to be jumping between the two systems. So, and the other thing is mechanic utilization. Having this trouble code data into the maintenance system, the mechanics can see the trouble codes, they can act on the critical ones, but they can also kind of pre-diagnose the situation. Rather than coming in, got to use a scan tool, find the stuff, you're saving mechanics time, right? And you're allowing them to focus on the critical items as well. Everyone, there's no abundance of experienced mechanics. So utilization of mechanics and those resources are critical. And some of the other integration value is, again, bringing in the fuel event data, be it fossil fuels, be it EV, right? Logging every single data for the fleet maintenance side and from the GPS side. Motor pools, some of you have motor pools, and if you bill other departments based on mileage, you don't have to manually capture, well, how many miles did you drive that car? It all comes in automatically because you're pulling that telematics data in on the meters. And back to location, that's the simplest thing. Mechanics sitting in front of the software that used to maintain the vehicles, they need to know, is it actually in the yard? Can I actually just go out and get it? Where is that vehicle? Is it at a dealership? So that's some of the other integration value is bringing in just the key location is helpful. And like I said, the EV side, we touched on this already. Full charge management, you get all the data from Geotab, but you got to combine this with all the charging event data, right? How much does electricity cost? When should I turn on my chargers? Did I have enough chargers? So that you need to have those that information married together. But then in addition to kind of those points, there's also a bunch of measures that you capture now. So there's a lot of data being on meters and trouble codes and location, and you end up with tons of measures. And this is where, I want to kind of bring in Reed, because, we bring all that data into the system, and again, it's good for ad hoc reporting, but now you get to the point, I still got this greater data pool, this lake of data that I can now make better decisions on. And that's where prediction is kind of the next level. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Thanks, Mike. So I heard Mike say a lot about data. I think he said it 114 times. I was trying to count, but it was too much. Predictive analytics really takes care of what goes on within that data. We've sat through all of these sessions here in the last couple of days. It's all about data. How do we manage it? How do we manage it? And here at Pitstop with our customers, we help them manage that because we're bringing in and we become the hub for all the data and bring that all in to be able to make sense of it. And from us, this started with us about 10 years ago, working directly with the OEMs. So they brought us in for that exact question, understanding what their vehicles do, how can they take all the data they get from them to make better decisions for the vehicles. And we thought this was great. We're going to be able to help people that purchase the vehicles, we're going to be able to help fleets. And what we learned from the OEMs is a lot of really great data we provided to them, and not a lot of it really getting down to the people actually taking care of the vehicles every day. So about 6 years ago, we shifted to working directly with Geotab, directly with companies like Assetworks, to be able to get that information down to the fleets themselves. So taking together and bringing together all the external data sources, being able to bring in manual data from the technicians and from the team and really ground truth everything that's going on, and then bringing in AI-enabled tools to make sense of it. So in this new world where now tons and tons of people are starting to go to AI, you really have to build a foundation to be able to do that, to truly get the what matters, how do we predict, and what we really need to do with all these data that Mike talked about. The typical dilemma we see with fleets is they've got systems like telematics and Geotab. They may have a system like an Assetworks that's managing their work orders, but they may be handling that on paper and pencil or spreadsheets within their tools. And then some sort of diagnostic tools, guides, all those types of things. And typically these are loosely integrated, if at all. With Pitstop, it's our goal to really bring all of that in together, take this data overload and really make it actually usable. So to be able to be the hub and the piping, to bring all of that together, to be able to do things like automate issue management, be able to filter out the critical telematics data. Just about every fleet we've talked to in the last couple of days, no matter how long they've been with Geotab, they tell us that they're pretty immature as far as how they actually use the data from a maintenance perspective. With Pitstop, we want to be able to filter that out, make it very simple to be able to say, here's what your critical issues look like, this is where your focus should be. Here's what a major issue would look like, here's a minor issue, maybe we just ignore that altogether, because it's not going to matter in the short term. This helps with lots of things when you're working with your FMIS system, like scheduling. So now we can have a conditional PM schedule to be able to say, let's actually take care of the vehicles when they need to be taken care of. And to Mike's example, we're going to change the oils every 3 months just because you're likely over maintaining that vehicle depending on the age and the make and the model. With Pitstop, we can actually take a look and provide a health report now to say, not just within your fleet, but in your peers' fleets, what does that look like? So in the case of I've got 150 F-150s, well, we may have tens of thousands of F-150s out amongst other fleets, and now we can then score it, just like you would score someone in elementary school. You're in the 99th percentile, you're in the 80th percentile, you're in the 70th percentile, and now provide predictive alerts to be able to say, this is a better way to be able to maintain the vehicle. This is where we should actually be pulling things together. And this would have been impossible even 5-10 years ago at this type of level, but now with AI, it's very simple and moves very fast. So I was just reading here at the end of the year, I think it was October or November, that Forbes came out with a report as they polled businesses, and they said 83% of businesses are looking to adopt AI within 2025. No one really knows what that means. It's just somebody in a boardroom saying, you need to use AI, or getting the call, are we using AI? And so we're very open about how we use AI. If you've been through the marketplace today, you've seen AI on a lot of different booths. Ask what that means. Ask where AI is actually being used, because it's super important. And the key things for us is, to Mike's point, all of the data analysis, all of the trouble codes you're getting from Geotab, all the sensor data that's coming from the subsystems, being able to use AI and language models to be able to pull that all together to actually make figure out what really makes sense. And this is what really drives predictive maintenance. So everyone thinks of predictive maintenance as, you're going to let me know that my truck's going to break down X number of days ahead. And that's true, but how often are breakdowns truly happening in a percentage of the fleet? That wouldn't really be that much value. So for us, it's really about how do we bring this all together with smart scheduling? How do we now understand that when a vehicle needs its PM, being able to look and say, does it have critical issues? Does it have potential breakdowns? Do we have things coming from the DVIR within Geotab that says the driver's finding things? How many of the services can we bundle together? Because at the end of the day, it's about really being able to decrease that downtime and keep the vehicles on the road where they're actually making money. We've also put in a lot of things around fault code analysis. So using ChatGPT to now understand deeper, what do fault codes truly mean? How do we help the technicians on the ground? We talk all the time with different fleets on how hard it is to hire technicians. We're hiring younger and younger, less mature technicians. How do we help them to make sure they're not making mistakes? So now being able to use ChatGPT and AI tools to be able to bring together deeper descriptions. So you guys all know in Geotab, you get 4 digits, maybe 4 or 5 words to describe a code. If the technician deals with that code all the time, no problem. If it's something they don't, now they're going to their diagnostic tools, they're going to troubleshooting guides. We bring all of that into the system with deeper descriptions in layman's terms, so now everybody can understand what's truly going on with the vehicle, how to troubleshoot it, and how to bring that forward. Linking together with some of our partners on the troubleshooting guide side to be able to provide wiring diagrams, be able to provide deeper troubleshooting guides, really to bring all that work to the technician right there. And now, even now launching this year, our new AI voice technician. So now we have mechanics, our tool for mechanics to be able to use, they can call a phone number, talk about what's going on, this is the make, this is the model, here's the trouble code I have, here's what we're seeing with the vehicle, and be able to talk to an AI bot and actually get results. So we've now beta this with a few different shops over the last few months, expecting the absolute worst, to be honest. Assuming that no technician would want to talk to a robot and be able to say, they're not going to know as much as me, and pleasantly surprised with the results and the accuracy that we're seeing. So this is something that we'll be testing and piloting with customers here over the next few months, and it will be live by the end of the year as a true tool now to be able to add to these systems as we're trying to make sense of all the data. Mike, do you want to talk about the integration directly with Assetworks?
Yeah, exactly. Back to eliminating those siloed systems, right? So when I'm speaking from, I'm the fleet manager, and I'm managing the maintenance and keeping the fleet on the road, right? So you're bringing in, you got all the Assetworks, all the history data, the maintenance, everything that happened that vehicle goes into Pitstop. You have all the Geotab telematics data that's going in there. You've got all the industry data that Pitstop. They're the ones combining all this data, but then they make it available for us. So we're bringing that right into the maintenance system. So as I'm the supervisor, I'm managing the maintenance schedules. I'm seeing the critical insights coming from the predictive analytics. I'm seeing all my preventative maintenance. I'm seeing all the inspections due. I have a full visibility into all the work that my team has to do, and now I can prioritize the schedule. We get back to utilization. I need to worry about keeping these vehicles on the road in a safe manner, and I can focus on all that data coming into the single platform allows me to manage those schedules, prioritize, because I've got a full view of everything that's happening, the predictive items, the scheduled items, other ad hoc things I'm dealing with. So that's really kind of the value out of getting rid of those silos, being able to see everything under one platform. And one other just item specific to that, Reed touched on that, is we don't have this yet. This is being worked on this year to add the pre and post trip inspection defects into that, because that's the one that, the driver initiated defects, and adding that component again to that same visibility, so you can bring that in, prioritize it. Once that repair is done, push that back out to Geotab to close the loop on that DVR. So that's a process underneath that's going on this year.
And I'll add to that too as well, Mike. So on top of just the DVRs is all the work order data as well. So even if you have a great tool like Assetworks where you're keeping all your DVRs from internal shops and things like that, but, there's also a percentage where you're using mom and pop shops and corner shops and outside. Being able to bring all of that data in and normalize can be a big task. So in our integration with DVRs, we've also created an AI scanning tool that actually now can take the PDF documents or images from your phone of the documents to be able to bring those in and normalize those into the Assetworks system. So now all of your work order data is completely clean. Everything that's coming through now, including now as we're doing DVIR with the bundled services that are on that work order with your PM or whatever else, you're now able to close that loop completely within any of the systems. And with these scans, now it brings it all together to be able to now bring in a large amount of data without somebody sitting there and fat fingering it all day.
Yeah, thanks, Reed. And with that, I know we're catching up on time, so we didn't want to leave a few minutes for questions. We've kind of high-powered through a ton of stuff high level, so happy to take any questions.